Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Phaedra Stewart, and I am the owner and operator of Seriously Positive, LLC. I received my MBA from the University of Baltimore, and participating in the UB Reed Fellows Program has helped me to significantly increase my knowledge of real estate development and has provided me with resources that have been invaluable. Thank you.
Big green button.
The big green button. Okay. So my company's goals and guiding principles are centered around self-worth, self-respect, and valuing others. Creating a more positive mental state by rehabilitating distressed properties and transforming previously neglected neighborhoods. My focus is on the Oliver community. Oliver is in the Eastern District of East Baltimore, and its boundaries are North Avenue, Enzer Street, Biddle Street, and Broadway. Why Oliver, you may ask? In addition to having childhood ties in and around the neighborhood, Oliver is strategically positioned for growth. It's close to Johns Hopkins Hospital, Kaiser Permanente. It's easily accessible to downtown Baltimore and Penn Station. There's also surrounding development that's occurring around Oliver. Some of the initiatives that are taking place are listed here, but to just point out a few, there's a new apartment building that was constructed at Hartford Avenue and Preston Street, and there's a new tiny home community called Hope Village, which is being constructed in the 1300 block of Holbrook Street. In addition, DHCD recently awarded the community a $100,000 grant for a strategic plan for the neighborhood. And I am appreciative because I've been invited to help out with that plan. There's also surrounding development. So I'm going to try and use Kashoni's cat thingy. So this is Oliver here in the green. If you look here, this is the Middle East, and this is Old Town, Somerset, and Perkins. And those two are also being developed. In addition, there is a new supermarket that is being built at the corner of Central and Orleans Streets. And that's going to be a big plus for the neighborhood because that is actually less than a mile away, and it is in a food desert. So my project is in the 1300 block of Asquith Street, right at Asquith and Preston. I just completed a rehabilitation at 1322 Asquith, and the next phase will include 1308, 1310, and 1316 Asquith Street. The green shaded area here is 1322, and the green dots along the side, those represent the remaining properties that I'm focused on. So 1308, 1310, and 1316. At the very bottom is 1300. It's a corner property. I plan to do something with that, but that's phase 3, a little bit down the road. I'm proud to say that when I started working on 1322, it actually sparked activity in the block, and now multiple projects are occurring in the block. And none of my properties, when completed, will be in between two distressed properties. So these pictures actually show the condition of 1322 when I started. No roof, half a back wall. And these are post-construction pictures of the property. I actually completed this project with my own funds. As we got towards the end of the project, my funds got a little dwindled, and I actually had to get a hard money loan. I don't want to ever do that again. As you know, hard money is very expensive, and I'm hoping to be able to utilize this competition in order to do the remaining projects on the block. It was very important for me to finish this project, not only for the neighborhood, but for my own desire to see things through to completion. So the properties on the block actually qualify for the CHAP tax credit. Here's a breakdown of the property tax savings as a result of that tax credit. The tax credit stays in effect for a 10-year period and will result in a significant monthly savings for the homeowner. This is a direct benefit for persons who purchase my properties. So I am here today for funding for phase 2 of my project. Again, the full rehabilitation of 1308, 1310, and 1316 Asquith Street. The cost per property will be approximately $252,000 for a total of $756,000 for the 3 properties. Once completed, my plan is to sell the properties in order to create home ownership. With a sale price of $360,000, the expected profit at a 7% interest rate for the loan is a little more than $51,000, a 16.6% return on the investment. At 8%, a little over $48,000, a 15.8% return on the funds. And then if I get a loan at 9%, we're talking about $46,000 return, about 14.96%. Now, in the event that I am not able to sell the properties in a timely manner, you can see here that if I rent the properties out based upon a $2,700 per month rental rate, I will still be able to meet any debt service that I have with the rent that's coming in, and that's even without that CHAP tax credit. So I'll be able to pay my loan, and I have a little bit left over. With the CHAP tax credit, it's actually a little bit more. So here you can actually see my estimated carry costs, my construction or repair costs for the property, 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath property, and then also my total closing and sales expenses. So my sources and uses, with the funds from the pitch competition, as well as an infusion of my own funds of about $64,000, along with the loan for $756,000, we're looking at $849,929. I will actually use those funds for my development costs, the property acquisitions, the construction, the closing or sales expenses, as well as my carrying costs. And you can see that my sources and my uses are equal. Some comps from the neighborhood. These are all within a quarter mile of the 1300 block of Asquith Street, and they're all on the east side of I-83. If you're familiar with the I-83 corridor, one side's a little different than the other side. These are all on the east side of I-83. Similar properties, and you can see the list prices and the sales prices that occurred. I really think my $360,000 rate is a little modest. So when we get to the time to actually put it on the market, we'll see where the market has advanced. So each property will take about 7 months to complete. The start for each property will be about 2 weeks out from the prior property. So with that succession of starts, we will complete all of the houses within about an 8-month period. And that will allow all of the tradespersons to move from one property to the next pretty easily. And also the project manager for the property will be able to cover all of those and make sure that they're monitoring the progress on the properties properly. So I've developed a relationship with an organization called O'Hara Development. O'Hara Development actually trains families in home ownership. So we've had some folks from their cohort to actually come through 1322 and take a look at the property, and some have actually expressed interest. I've also spoken with a representative from Baltimore. Because I've only completed one property on the block, we have to have some more conversations once other properties on the block have been completed to talk about developing a partnership. I also am working with a real estate agent who's in the audience, and we've talked about putting the properties on the MLS and having some open houses to ensure that people are aware of the property. I should win this competition because I have actually done this before. I have completed a project on that same block, and I have the others that I want to complete. Also, I have a wealth of resources to assist me in the completion of the project, and this is not a one and done for me. This is something that I am planning to commit for a long time in the future because I do want to make an impact in Baltimore, and I am committed to the Oliver community. So thank you to a host of people who have been instrumental in my success thus far. Dave Lazis, Jeff Connolly, Willie Moore, Larissa Salamacha, and the UB Reed Fellows, staff, and guests, my development team, architects Arenco, LLC, and Neighborhood Design Center, CHAP consultant Neil Junker and Sharon Sidechick, Lannis Construction, Neb Sayalm is the general contractor, and then my partners, the Baltimore Oliver Community Association, or BOCA, the Charm City Buyers Group, Khalil and Kiera Ukta, O'Hara Developments, Joanna Bartholomew is the owner of that, and then of course my family and friends. So thank you all very much. I appreciate all of your support. Okay. Judges? Yes.
Do you have any renderings in here of what your building's going to look like?
I do not have any renderings in there. No, I did not put those.
Is there a reason?
No particular reason. I thought when I showed the pictures of the existing property, you could kind of see what it looked like, but I can provide those if necessary.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I got the picture of what it looks like now, but, and what you did with the property is amazing.
Thank you.
But my question was what the new one's going to look like. So I'll hold off on that question.
Okay,
Second,
I'm sorry, I could explain it if you'd like. It's a 3-story property. So the first floor has a living room, dining room, and kitchen, along with a half bath and a closet. The second floor has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a laundry room.
Okay.
And then the entire third floor is an owner's suite. So there's an owner's bedroom, owner's closet, and an owner's bath. And then the basement for the current property is unfinished. However, I'm planning to finish the basements in the other properties.
do you plan on, or do you need the issue of those sump pumps?
So in the current property, we have not needed a sump pump. However, there will be an egress in the new one, so I have to talk to my construction person to see if we need sump
Baltimore
pumps.
City is famous for doing that.
Yes.
Okay. The last question is, you had something in your documentation that dealt with removal of trees and planting of trees.
Yes.
Could you explain that, please?
Absolutely. So in the entire Oliver neighborhood, there is a tree planting initiative. So they are going through the different blocks of the neighborhoods and planting trees at the curb. Some old trees are being removed because there's a lot of dead trees in the area, but that is an initiative on the part of the Oliver community to plant more trees in the neighborhood.
That's not your initiative.
Not mine personally, no. But on the block where I am, we have 3 dead trees, so we are working on getting new trees there. Yes.
The reason I asked the question was because I know the Oliver neighborhood, and there are a lot of
Everybody wants
There's
to
a
hear
lot
your
of
wisdom, young man.
okay, there's a lot of trees in Oliver that are very, very old because Baltimore's an
Yes.
old city.
Absolutely.
And you have that issue. So my concern was it wasn't in your pro forma. So I was wondering how you were going to address that, but you're saying you're not addressing it, the city's going to address it.
Yes, and I
Okay.
actually had a conversation with one of the members of the community on Tuesday at a community association meeting about starting that process of getting the trees in the 1300 block of Asquith removed and having new trees planted. Yes, you're welcome.
First off, excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Excellent package.
Thank you.
Well thought out from start to finish. Your current project, 1322 Asquith.
Yes.
Currently on the market?
Not on the market yet. We had some issues with getting the water meter installed, and DPW dug some things up, and we are trying to get that corrected. I didn't want to start showing the property with the front of the property not completely concreted.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you think you will list that property for?
I'm planning to list that one for $365.
365? And that's with the unfinished basement?
Correct.
Okay.
What we did actually was paint the floors and brace the walls and just kind of made it look very neat.
Okay.
Yes.
Like the fact that you took a look at using CHAP, benefit not only for a potential buyer, but if you have to fall back on your contingency plan, Obviously, the 10-year reduction in the real estate taxes, the difference between 400 or 500 and a couple thousand, obviously impacts your cash flow.
Yes.
So nice job there.
Thank you.
Last question on the block. You've got a lot of activity going on the block. And as we know, you can have a $365,000 house today, and if your neighbor sells for $250,000,
Yes.
it's going to impact your value. Do you have any idea what the other homeowners or people are doing as far as the renovation? Are they doing a renovation that is the same level as yours, that will keep that price range in the mid-300s?
So there's a house directly next door to mine, 1324, and that gentleman and I do have conversation regularly, and we visit each other's properties regularly. His level of renovation, he's actually very competitive, and he's trying to exceed mine. There's also a gentleman who is, he has 1332 Asquith. House not in the same condition as the ones that we purchased, but we've also been talking to him about his property. So we're trying to make sure we're coming together and working cohesively so that everybody is presenting something that's similar.
Okay. And then last question on the 60,000 plus that you're looking to put into the deal.
Yes.
Does that exhaust all your liquidity, or is there other liquidity that you have beyond that 60 plus?
There's a little bit more.
Okay.
Not a lot.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Phaedra. That was amazing.
Thank you.